early season tilt should be ready to roll.
Well, let's face it, the aches and pains haven't really set in yet, and both teams eyeing a really good start to get things going.
This one taken just inside the 10. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. On 1st and 10, Locke throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. I think that's Mack who's still down. Yeah, it is. Mack apparently shaken up there. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. Now it's Locke. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down. Now that screen there on 2nd down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there, because trying is one thing. We can second-guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize it is broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the 1st down on 3rd down. That way you don't lose any yardage. That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do, because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do, because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him.
Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. So they took a shot on 1st down but couldn't connect.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Throwing now is Rodgers. Over the middle, that's caught by Adams. And down he'll go at the 25. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Now Rodgers. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. His first catch, good for 8 and a 1st down. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that, because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So, as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
The numbers on the ground for Jones last week. 19 carries, 89 yards.
And now that he's playing a Thursday night game, short week, you know he spent a lot of time in the trainer's room in the cold tub trying to get his legs back for this game.
Here's Jones. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively, because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Now Rodgers. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. 15 yards there on the catch and run.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, You enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Colts territory. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
On second down, it's Jones. Look at the spin.
Balance.
Taking it right down Broadway. Touchdown, Packers. A great effort there. His second touchdown on the season. And the Packers have taken the early lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
On is Mason Crosby for the point after. Crosby connects on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. So an 8-play drive covering 80 yards. And a long run there in the end to top it off. Crosby on now to kick it away. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
So they jumped on the left side of that line.
And you know when you're at the end spot, you are like in the starting blocks, waiting for the pistol to fire and go, and he jumped a little bit too early.
A boost here to start the drive. After the penalty, it's 1st and 5. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
On second down, here's Love. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Doyle. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. They go play action here on first down. Going deep for Moncrief. And this will be caught at the 30. And they're able to get this one down to the 25. A gain of 39 that time.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
Back to throw. Love. Over the middle here, it's Hilton. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
That's a rush coming, and he's taken down.
The just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot the last couple of games.
And a big rush here as he's taken down. Nick Perry in there to drop him, and back-to-back sacks now bring up 4th and long. I know some of the talk after last week's loss was the O-line struggles. They gave up 4 sacks. He got hit here and taken down again, so that's something to monitor.
It is something to monitor, but they've got to help their offensive line out. Maybe a little bit different play calling, right? Draws, screens, get the ball out of the quarterback's hands quicker, maybe some quick game passes. All of that to try and help slow down a pass rush and make things easier on their offensive line.
And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Now trotting out there, the Packers getting ready to go. And now last drive so successful with the ground game, ending in a touchdown. Do you stick with that formula?
That would be the #1 thing you would think of, but so many guys now would look at it and say, we've got them set up so well for play action, now's the time to take a shot.
Yeah.
But, you know, there was a big-time coach in the state of Ohio who once said, if you throw the ball, if you put it in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad. He would have kissed it on the ground.
One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating them up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, knock it loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
So they were able to put the pen to the paper this week, get this deal done, contract extension. And I'm sure that the coach's front office happy. He's got to be happy too, though.
He's got to be relieved. He doesn't have to worry about moving now, doesn't have to worry about not having a team. He's back with a team he's comfortable with and where he feels he belongs. Yeah, I think he feels pretty good about this whole deal.
A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, #1, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger game. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's